Welcome everyone to episode 10 of the Take Aim Gamescast. I'm your host Scott Mills, the Microsoft/PC expert. I'm joined on my left, as always, by Brett Wolf, the PlayStation expert.
What's up, guys? Finger guns. Pow, pow, pow. Don't do it, Scott.
Oh,
don't do
okay.
it. Only me.
Only you. And on my right, I've got Eric King, the Nintendo / a little bit of everything expert.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Come on, don't do the finger guns are my new thing. Alright? I'm Shooter McGavin.
Okay.
Did you guys
You gotta find something else.
You guys see we hit a pretty big milestone this week?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
We,
Why don't you share with our viewers?
As Dominic would always tell you, Scott, baby steps. And I think
Yes.
we hit our first baby step this week with our 100 views.
100 views?
On our first video. So,
The PlayStation.
not
First
our
video?
our first video to get to 100.
Oh. And which
But
video
The
was
first
that?
video with Jared.
That was the first one we did with Jared, yeah.
The
PlayStation
PlayStation
one.
Yes.
video.
Yeah,
I
PlayStation
wonder why that
2020.
one got so popular. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was
Good
prob-
tags, maybe you would say, kind of like on my.
I think it was
strings?
more so me.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I think that was me.
Well, you've been in every video.
No, I felt like that was my
But he was good in that video.
that was like my
Oh,
peak.
okay.
You know, I ran the show. I was able
downhill
to.
from there. You're saying?
I'm just saying we can't get higher than that. That's gonna be our best video for sure.
Can't do better than
Never
100
do.
views.
No.
Oh boy.
No, that's it for us.
Well,
That would be unfortunate.
I just wanted to thank the fans for that because we couldn't do it without you guys. So much love to you guys.
Should we give a toast? 200.
Oh yeah.
Oh, toast. Yes.
All right.
My invisible drink.
All right,
I
so
want
Get
toast.
your drink up, Scott.
Let's get a toast
That's
for 100 views for our first video that hit 100 views, and let's go for some many more.
Next goal's 100 subscribers.
So
So make sure you subscribe when you do.
Congrats, Take Aim Games.
Thank you, fans.
The sweet,
Taste of success.
the sweet taste of success. Correct.
Yummy, yummy. Okay.
Jesus, you always make things awkward, dude.
Sorry. Okay, so we also wanted to tell you guys we mentioned last week that we got tickets for Pax East, and so we are definitely planning on going to Pax East the last weekend in March. It's Friday the 29th of March, I believe is the date.
Yeah, so I think our plan is to get down to PAX East is in Boston.
Boston.
And so we plan to drive to Boston from Cleveland on the 28th. And then, Scott, you got tickets for us for the 29th?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we come back on the 30th. So we got ourselves one day on the show floor for PAX East. I don't think any of us have ever been there before, so we don't know 100% what to expect. Probably a lot of like indie games and showcases. I know they do some stuff with like board games, tabletop games and stuff too, like Dungeons and Dragons, I think. Yeah, so I think it'll be fun to go there. And
Do they make like any
different presentations.
big announcement at PAX East ever? I don't really pay attention to what's what as far as some of those conferences go. Have they ever announced anything big at PAX East?
I'm not.
Is that, yeah, like he was saying, I know it's more indie game.
Yeah, but I think like Days Gone was at like PAX South.
I'm sure they dropped some trailers for games and stuff like that. But
I'm sure they have some like early where you can play games early, like
Yeah, I think it's a lot of like demos and for you trying out like indie developers, and they're showcasing their games on the show floor. And then maybe some of the bigger publishers might show up. So there's only 4 PAXs. I think there's East, West, South, and then there's one in Australia too.
Corey Barlog gonna be there? I want to meet him.
Well, I think there's I think GDC, which is a game developer conference, is in the middle of March, and that kind of tied into my previous prediction of Sony showcasing some hints about PlayStation 5 there. So I know Corey Barlog's gonna be at GDC. So that's kind of like the biggest, I guess, place you can see big announcements. I think PAX East is still going to be like kind of just like, hey, come up and try some of these games and enjoy nerd culture and stuff like that. So
yeah.
But I'm excited for it. There's one indie game in particular that I want to play, and that's Pray to the Gods, which is kind of like a Shadow of the Colossus clone.
Okay.
But it has like more, I think, action adventure stuff going on with it, besides killing just the 16 bosses, as you might have seen in my Shadow of the Colossus gameplay streams. So that game I'm really excited about, and hopefully I can play that game. But I know the three of us are kind of going to be, maybe we won't all stick together during the whole thing. Maybe try different games that we might be, interested in. So yeah, I'm pumped. My first ever game convention thing that I'm going to. I don't think you guys have been to a gaming convention either. So
I've not.
Pick you guys up some gaming chicks and
that's right. Yeah, I get some
Sky, you don't sound too confident in that.
Well, you never know. Hey,
you never know. We'll have you hang out. You'll hang out by the board chicks and see what those girls are looking like, and report back to us.
Gotta go babe sharking.
So, what else should we take to Boston?
Boston.
What should we wear?
Some shirts.
Some shirts.
I mean, I've got a Halo shirt.
I got a shirt.
I can wear that. Oh, that's right. You want to show our viewers this amazing shirt that we're going to be wearing?
Check that out. It's in development right now, as we speak.
Yeah, so I guess Eric's going to make those and order those shirts for us.
And that's what we're wearing.
And we're going to wear those to Boston. So that'll be really cool.
Chicks.
Hope we get some more exposure. The Boston chicks might, come on to us too quick with those shirts. So we gotta be careful.
I know it could be scary.
I won't be scared. I'll be fucking ready. No, I shouldn't say that. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're also excited to see our friend Dominic that we've talked about before on this show. He lives down there. So we'll get to spend some time with him. I don't know if we're going to do an episode while we're down there. We'll have to see how it goes. We'll try to get some maybe footage of when we're out at some of the booths.
Yeah.
If they let us.
I want to get a camera to take there.
Yeah.
Or we would just use our phones, but I don't know why we couldn't take footage of everything.
Yeah. I didn't see anything that says you can't.
Yeah, so I don't see why that would be a big deal, because these games are already announced. It's not like they're behind closed doors, which I'm assuming some media members might have stuff behind closed doors. We're not big enough yet, but
yeah.
I just want to see how big it's going to be. I'm assuming it's at a huge ass convention center, so we'll see.
All right, so yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that. So stay tuned at the end of March for our coverage on that. The main topic of today's Gamecast that we wanted to get into was free-to-play games. There's one big one that just came out here in the last week. It was kind of a hush-hush until, hey, it's releasing. The Respawn, the makers of Titanfall 1 and 2, they came out with a new game called Apex Legends. It's more of like a prequel type of game to the Titanfall games, so you don't have the mechs or the parkour elements of those games at all. But it's supposed to still be that same setting, world, I guess, as Titanfall, I think.
Yeah, you can definitely tell with the mechanics in that game, because I've only played it, I don't know, probably 5 matches I tried to do.
Okay.
It wasn't going too well because it was the first night that they actually released it.
But yeah, so this
seemed like the servers were kind of down, but the mechanics, they seem very similar to Titanfall. You can definitely tell that it was made by Respawn just by playing it. But.
Yeah, so this game is a battle royale type of game, and similar to a Fortnite or PUBG type, where you are put into a massive map with 60 other players, and you just drop in to the spot on the map that you want, and the map gradually shrinks as the game goes along until there's just one squad left.
The thing I liked about it too was the fact that it's only 60 people, and the map's a little bit smaller, because when I'm playing PUBG, I fucking hate
how many people are in PUBGs?
It's 100 in PUBG,
100.
and you drop in and man, you can be playing a round of that for.
That's something I
don't know,
noticed.
like 45 minutes probably.
From what I
or
watched.
something, but
Of
it sucks
Apex.
when you die early on that game and then you gotta sit there waiting for your buddies to either win or die or whatever. But the good thing about Apex is you don't seem like you're sitting there quite
Yeah, it
as
seems
long.
like the games go a little bit quicker, which I'm always a fan of. Like, if your games go a little bit quicker, then if I only wanted to play for like an hour at a time, like I could just get on, play a game of that, and move on.
Right.
So they only have squad matches though, so you're not doing solo like in a PUBG. You can do by yourself, but this is always you have 3 people in a squad.
Yes.
So you're either playing with random people or you find 2 friends to play with.
And the cool thing about it is that like what PUBG and your Fortnite they don't have in it is you get like classes in this game where they all get specific abilities. Like they have like a passive ability, each of them, and a active ability, and then you have like an ultimate, kind of like you would in Overwatch. And yeah, it's cool being able to kind of strategize with your squad.
Yeah, I heard like you can like make combos with the special moves between the guys.
I mean,
like the one guy releases a smoke as his thing, and then another character has a power where you can see the people in the smoke, and so you can combine and use teamwork.
Obviously, I haven't delved into it quite that far, playing only 5 matches, but yeah, I mean, that would definitely make sense where you can definitely, you know, combo your ultimates or whatever, sort of like in Overwatch.
But yeah, it definitely seems like it's been popular so far among people because it's a free-to-play game that they released.
Yeah, I think like day 2, I heard like 2 million something, like 2.5 million already were on it. Like just day 2, and that's very good, especially with that game like kind of flying under the radar before it got released.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you plan on doing any stream of that game? I probably won't.
Well, we attempted to the first night, and the game crashed a few times. You know, it was in between matches, but it's like we died a couple times, and we all died, and then the game crashed.
And you say
so
we,
like,
were you playing with Brett?
Jared and Brett, and
Okay.
we died, and then the game crashed, and we had to restart the stream. We just got fed up with it, really. We didn't want to keep trying to stream with it crashing, because every time the game crashes, the stream stops, so screwed the whole thing up. So.
Alright. Well, in that light, we've got this game's a free-to-play game, and the free-to-play game
I want to put my
opinion
opinion on the game. So
game. Okay.
I play a lot more than Eric has.
Okay, so you played more than just 5 matches.
Right.
Okay.
I have a couple opinions on that game. So one, like Eric said, I still have a bunch of issues with the servers where you'll load into a match with, you know, both of your squad mates, and then once the match starts, you get booted, and you go through a black screen, and either you have to restart your game or either try again, and it's like your other squad mates get into a match, and you're kind of stuck waiting for them.
Yeah, that happened like multiple times with us because we tried like 10 straight times trying to get you in, and for some reason you just couldn't get in.
I couldn't. I kept getting error messages saying connecting to servers, and me and Eric, obviously we lived together, we're roommates, so like, you know, you would think he wouldn't have a problem if I don't have a problem, and vice versa.
On the same
and a lot of times, because when you boot up into the game, you have your character selection, so it's kind of like a random order, so each squad mate can't have the same character. So like, so I'll get disconnected. Eric would be put into the character selection screen, and then once we're done with that, the game actually starts booting up, and you have to wait all the way until like the jump to be able to leave the match. So it took a good minute or two for you to get past all those screens to be able to quit out, and then you would try it again, and kept on disconnecting me. It's happened to me every single night I play where I can't get consistently to do continuous matches. It is very frustrating.
The thing about that though is, with it being like a free-to-play game, it doesn't bug me quite as much as if you go out and pay $60 for a game and it's doing this like at least they didn't make you pay right up front.
Right. And we'll get into why it's successful as a free to play game. Because I totally agree that you can kind of show it some forgiveness with its rough parts but besides that, I have a lot of good, I guess, pros for that game. And one of the pros is the ping system, where you don't need mics to be able to communicate with your squad mates. I believe it's either R1 on the DualShock, right bumper on the Xbox controller, where you can look at a weapon or ammo and press that button, and your character will say like, "Hey, ammo here," or "Hey, here's a gun here," and it will pop up on your screen. That every person in your squad knows that item's there. So let's say Eric has a shotgun. He can't find any shells for it, so he can't use it for ammo. So I'm in a building maybe, I don't know, maybe 500 yards away, and we don't have mics. And I'm like, oh, here's some shotgun ammo. And I just press R1. I'm like, I don't need it, because I'm not using a shotgun. Then Eric will know my position of where I pinged that ammo, so he knows where to go. So it's cool that you don't need to have a mic for people that don't like talking. Like, we all have mics. But for people that don't like talking on mics, or people that are just playing by themselves and they join a squad, people have a kind of communication with their squad mates. You're not feeling alone.
So you can actually like go in and tell them ammo, or is it just ping your location?
You ping it, and it says, "Oh, ammo here."
Does it say what kind of ammo? Or
I want to say it does.
Yeah.
I want to say it does. Yeah, I think it pops up like on the top right-hand corner of what it is that you're pinging.
Okay.
So yeah, because we didn't get into it that much where we were testing that part out, but yeah, that's cool for sure.
So that's really cool. I mean, I know Fortnite and PUBG don't have that. Number two, the gameplay's super tight. It's super fun. It controls well. It's fluid, and there's like you said, Scott. There's no parkour. There's no wall running or anything like that. But the way the guns control, and it just feels good to be able to play in that game. And I never had any problems like with shooting. With I didn't feel any like rubber banding. Nothing like really laggy. Once I was in the match, it felt fine.
Yeah, something else I heard about that I think is better than what like PUBG does is I've heard that you can revive people after they've died.
That was another thing I was
So
going to
it's
bring up.
like, because in PUBG, once you die, you're just sitting there waiting for your teammate to be done. And you could be sitting there for like 10 minutes not doing anything.
When you get shot, I know Realm, I think Royale does this too, which is another free-to-play game that I kind of dabbled in a little bit. So what happens is you get knocked down, and somebody can come revive you, just like in I think Fortnite has. If somebody gets knocked down, you can revive them, right?
Oh, and they're like crawling around.
Yeah.
PUBG
So when you die, you can your banner shows on the map in the vicinity of like where your squad mates are, and again, you have a ping button, and it kind of lets the players know like, hey, this is where I died at. Come pick me up. But you only have, I think you have a minute and a half.
Oh, so it is a time system, kind of like the other ones.
Right.
I thought it was like where.
Well, they do have it where you're crawling around, right?
That's when you get knocked down, right?
Yeah, and that's a shorter amount of time, right? Or is that?
It still has a timer. No, this is when you're actually dead.
That's what I thought this was. Extra time.
Yeah, this is when you're dead.
Okay.
So teammates can come to your location that you died at, pick your banner up, and then the person that died can ping the closest revive station. So then, let's say Eric died, I go to his banner, I pick it up, and there's multiple revive stations within the map. And all you do is make sure you don't die. Take their banner to the revive station and hold X or square. And after maybe around 5 seconds, they get another life and they drop down from the jump ship. But what's cool is that when you go to revive somebody, other players know you're using that revive station. It makes noise. And they know somebody's being revived. So it's kind of like do it at your own caution. It's like high risk, high reward.
How long does it take to actually revive somebody?
I would say about 5 seconds.
So they get the noise, but it's not like you're sitting there like a sitting duck waiting for these people to come when they hear the noise.
Yeah.
Like you can get out of there pretty quickly.
I think that's really cool. You know, like let's say us three are playing and like I'm like really good, and you guys both go down. Like, there's no reason for you guys to leave the match until I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know, like you can.
I like this hypothetical.
I think it's very fair. I think it's very fair.
Yeah.
But there's incentive for you. Like, hey, you can, if you're confident in your squad mate that's gonna kind of pull you through. You can have be a little bit aggressive and still have a chance to win. So you don't have to like leave the match immediately. Which brings me to my next point is that leaving matches. Like Eric talked about waiting 45 minutes for matches to be over because once you die, you're dead. Like it's super quick to like get in and out of matches.
Okay.
So
that's nice.
Yeah, that's super nice, super convenient. You guys die, you immediately just leave match, and there's a progression system just like in Fortnite, where every match you play, depending on how many kills you get, how long you've been alive, you get points to get cosmetic items. Okay. Which is another good thing about this game is that there's no pay to win. There's microtransactions, which is fine. It's all cosmetics.
Items. Yeah.
Right.
Which is the way to do it.
So my long story short, I guess, my review for this game is that it's definitely a fun entry into the Battle Royale genre that isn't Fortnite. I think this game has, Realm Royale, which has gotten a lot of, streamers playing that game. This game is, I think, it's a more realistic game that can really, rival Fortnite and be that second big streaming game.
The Battlefield to the Call of Duty.
Well, I feel like Blackout Call of Duty. I haven't heard too many updates about Blackout for Call of Duty.
No, I said the Battlefield.
No, I know.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like when we brought Call of Duty, what I'm saying is that like the reason this has a spot because I think Blackout, what I've seen of it, has a lot of good things going for it. It was pretty polished, but I don't think they're getting as many updates as I think players will want. So I think this game can really do well. I know I've read reports that they hit over 1 million players in 24 hours. I think they've hit 10 million players in 72 hours, so 3 days. So the game came out Monday. So by yesterday, it hit 10 million players. I think it's at 1 million players concurrently right now, which is crazy. Which is a crazy amount of people playing this game.
I'm not a big fan of the Battle Royale style game, but a lot of people are. So definitely like younger people, like teenagers and college kids, it seems to be most popular with. I think.
I don't see this game really surpassing Fortnite because of a lot of people having progressed through Fortnite and the building and all the different elements that Fortnite brings. But I think this game can really slide into that number 2 spot ahead of PUBG. I never played PUBG before, but what I've seen and heard of that game, there's no reason Apex Legends shouldn't pass PUBG as
PUBG was
realistic,
really like the original game. So as you get the market more saturated, you're gonna have these games that have better ideas that improve upon the PUBG experience.
So as a free-to-play game, I would say this game is probably around maybe an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10 in terms of being a free-to-play game.
That's pretty good.
It's just super fun, and I think for people that really enjoy multiplayer games and also the Battle Royale genre, that's why I would score it that high, just because it's something fun, easy game to drop in, no microtransactions, gunplay is smooth, controls are fluid, and the aesthetics look good. And I also like that the guns kind of don't have like tiers, really. Based on your attachments for the gun, it can make it better with, more legendary scopes and magazines and stuff like that. But I think it's a very fair game when you're playing against other people. So it's a fun game. I think people should check out Apex Legends if they haven't already, because it's something worth your time to at least check out.
Going back, sorry, Scott. Going back to what you said about it passing PUBG, that's going to be a tough mark because according to this site, I see this says it has 30 million active players. That's as of December, and 200 million downloads in 8 months. So.
Well, again, PUBG's been out since in early access this March of 2017.
But those are some big numbers.
Well, I'm talking about not maybe by sales overall. I guess I should already say sales, but by player activity. But for right now in today's world,
Yeah.
I can
see it hitting over that many downloads by the end of the year, though. I mean,
I don't see how much. How much do you think?
I think it was like 200 million.
Oh, I don't know about 200 million by the end of the year.
Downloads?
I think that's pushing it.
Well, you don't think they'll bring it to like a phone or something? Because that's where
I think mobile.
That's where PUBG gets a lot of those numbers.
I think you're right. I think you're exactly right. I think mobile, PUBG Mobile is something where you're getting most of those downloads. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because I think if Apex Legends goes to the phone, they'll hit those numbers. But yeah, I mean, they're not going to get 200 million downloads from PC. And Xbox.
Well, since I brought up really quickly, yes or no, does this game rival Fortnite in the future, Eric?
If you're saying rival, like ever pass it, I don't think it's
getting close. Or do you think Fortnite is so up there
well,
as
the
most, the best
like what I made
game?
my comparison, like Call of Duty to Battlefield. I mean, you consider Battlefield being a rival to Call of Duty, but everyone knows Call of Duty that has Battlefield. I kind of think it's the same case.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
All right, Scott, yes or no?
I don't think that it's going to pass Fortnite. I think that Fortnite
Do you think it'll get close?
I think it'll get closer than
Well, it has
other
to come
game
to phone,
has.
obviously, if you want to say it's getting close, because, I mean, those phone numbers are just, that's where they get all those numbers
Do you
from.
think, okay,
I think it'll be second. I think it'll pass PUBG, but it's not going to pass Fortnite.
come to the phone this year, come to mobile, yes or no?
Yeah, I can see it, because, I mean, it's, I don't know, has EA brought, like, many phone, they probably have.
Isn't Command and Conquer owned by EA? Conquer?
I mean, I think
Not
EA
sure.
probably has quite a few phone games, but this is going to be like one of their big mainstream games, I think, for the year. So, I mean, they got obviously Anthem coming out. That's not going to be like any kind of.
Oh yeah, I mean you
presence
see
with
the
that,
popularity of like a PUBG Mobile. I don't see why it wouldn't.
but yeah, I would think. I think that it's definitely going to be
They
a
want to
big three
capitalize on that.
at this point. I think this is going to slide in.
So I guess
you're
you're
ahead of PUBG or behind PUBG.
So you think
I can see mobile by the end of the year.
so? You see Apex Legends having a stay in the market for free-to-play games, where it's going to not just be a new thing that just got announced. Everybody's obsessed with.
I don't think it's going to disappear. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to definitely stay, have a presence,
and relevant in the future.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's
definitely think so.
in the era of Fortnite, PUBG, and
I just don't
Apex
know.
Legends. I think when you talk about this era of Battle Royale, I think you'll mention.
I've
those
never
three
played
games.
any of those like mobile Fortnite, mobile PUBG. I don't know how they work
I don't
really
know
on the
either,
phone.
yeah.
So I would assume this could work on the phone too. Like in comparison with
Yeah,
PUBG
it-
and Fortnite, I would think this would be able to work on the phone, but I just don't
Yeah,
know because I don't
it'll
know
be
how the
different
controls work and
programming.
stuff.
I mean, it's not
One
the
more
same
question.
game. So-
Would this game have as big of? What I'm trying to say is, will this game have as much positive criticism for it if it was announced 6 months ago? And what I mean by that is, if it would have been announced 6 months ago, do you think it would have been analyzed and destroyed because it's Respawn, who's owned by EA? Or do you think that this game is being announced and saying, hey, it's out there, go ahead and download it? Do you think that helped the game
I think it was
be as successful?
I think it was a smart move by them to go ahead and keep it kind of under the radar and just throw it out there for people, and people can kind of make their own determination, like you say, because they have a reputation, EA does, of people in the gaming community love to fucking hate on EA.
Yeah.
So I think it was a smart move
That
by
is
them to
true,
just
yeah.
kind of throw it out there, let people make their own opinion of the game, and not try to put it down before it comes out.
Oh yeah, because
they're already doing that with Anthem. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
it's
what
not-
I was gonna say. Yeah, Anthem, you can already see the negative hype building on that. Like a lot of people are already banging it because it's had issues in the demos, and so
I agree. I think this game being announced, it wasn't like a bunch of hype where like, I guess not even hype, but chances for people to not the game.
put overly high expectations on it, because just go in, try it out, see if you
Well,
like
I
it.
think that was the marketing thinking behind it was like, hey, let's just have an announcement, say it's out there, and let people play it, like you said, Eric, and decide for themselves. But there couldn't be weeks of people knocking this game, saying, "Oh, it's another battle royale game," and
because I didn't even know this game was coming out, and Jared like hit me up on Facebook and he's like, "Yo, let's try this out today."
Yeah,
I'd
never heard of it.
I'm like, okay. I'm like,
I heard about it.
I'll try
I heard
it out.
about the weekend before that they were announcing a battle royale game, and but I wasn't sure how.
Yeah, when you
I
were
was-
announcing, I thought it's like
All I saw,
gonna
to be honest, all I
say-
saw was like respawn, and I'm like, I don't really know. And then once I started, I'm like, but again, what got me was like, hey, it's out today. I can just go home from work, download it, and try it out for myself.
Okay,
There's
put
no
any money in,
overthinking it.
There's no.
Try it out. It's free. It's
Yeah.
free. I would pay.
I mean,
sorry,
yeah,
Scott.
that's a big-
I want to pay $1 for this game. Just try it out. If I hate it, delete it.
Yeah.
But I think the marketing behind it was super smart, and they kind of get. And, you know, they came out and said, "Hey, EA had nothing to do with this game. This was us making Titanfall 3, and they decided, you know what? This engine looks old. This isn't what we want to do for a proper Titanfall 3 game. Let's kind of like remold it and make it into this battle royale game." My opinion is that I think this battle royale mode was already made for Titanfall 3, and my conspiracy was
Probably.
that there was going to be a battle royale mode
Just
connected
separate.
to Titanfall 3. They said, hey, you know, we'll build a new engine, or we'll use a different engine for Titanfall 3, and
Well, it probably wouldn't make sense to have it in Titanfall 3 too, because I don't think it could work with Titans having it in the battle royale, because it just wouldn't get there once you get to like the middle of the circle. So
say that again. You think?
I think
you
it
think-
makes sense to have it separate
Oh,
from
okay.
Titanfall, because
Okay.
you can't have the Titans in the battle royale because it just wouldn't be fair. You get to the circle and somebody's got to play in your fuck.
Yeah. So I think it's a super smart. Yeah, I think they reused what they had created and said, hey, you know what? Let's make it into its own thing and release it. Get some goodwill for us.
I think they released it at a good time of the year too.
Oh, when there's not like, you know, we were thinking about games that we've already seen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Resident Evil 2 come out, which was a success.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3 has come out, that was a success. But now we're kind of in a dead
Kinda
period.
is dead
We're
period,
waiting
yeah.
for Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah, I
Scott,
think
your
that's
favorite
next
game
week,
this
yes,
next week.
And I
That's
have,
on your-
well, it's not my favorite game, but I drafted it, so
Yeah, you drafted it.
I want to see it do well.
and then-
I'm probably
and
not
then-
gonna play it though.
And then Anthem the following week. So yeah, like you said, Eric, it's a very dead period. Like I think last year, Monster Hunter World came out, and people were super hyped about that. But like, right now, you know, with Resident Evil 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3, which are single player games, you know, this is a good way to get like a multiplayer game out there and get people to kind of occupy them. So I think Respawn did a great job. I know they mentioned that they might still make a Titanfall 3, or they're going to. Even though when the game was announced, they said that, I think the CEO said that they weren't going to make a Titanfall 3.
Well, they didn't say Titanfall 3 though. They said, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was like something Titanfall like related or something like that. So they didn't say Titanfall 3,
Okay.
and who knows, it might not be a Titanfall 3 because you know Blizzard was telling us, oh, if something Diablo's coming, got a fucking phone game,
a
so
mobile game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which-
I want to get my hopes to
Yeah, which caused a huge backlash in the gaming
Oh, yeah.
community. So, but that's all we had to say about Apex. I think we're all in agreement about that game and what it's kind of like. It's keys to success.
Yes.
For, you know, games, and then going into our topic.
Yes. So I think,
Being
like you were
free.
saying, the marketing for this game was so successful. I think you're seeing more and more companies, they're coming out with these free-to-play models of games because, like we were talking about, you get to just come home, you get to download it, you get to try it out and see how you like it yourself. And if you really get into it, then you can then buy the cosmetic items and stuff. I mean, it's clearly successful, or they wouldn't be doing it. Like, these people want cosmetic items. Like, they're clearly making money buying these things. I know that free to play, it kind of started out where they were doing like pay to win stuff. So these players have to pay a ton of money in order to upgrade your character and get the best equipment.
Especially in the mobile
And
space, too.
I think a lot of gamers got kind of sick of that because you have the people who are grinding it out and you're just getting destroyed by these people who have more money and they're like, aha, I have more money, so I'm better than you. And I think it's better having these games as cosmetic items instead of the pay-to-win strategy, and I think the companies are starting to do that more. you still see all the backlash that EA gets from the microtransactions, like with like Battlefront 2, yeah, and so I think if the gamers don't want the pay to win, then they're going to do this cosmetic stuff, and the free to play is working and it's successful. I don't know, Eric.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with everything you said. I mean, I hate when they have like, you know, kind of like a lottery based not pay to win, but free to play. I hate when they have like those lottery things where you can buy the fucking loot boxes and
you don't even know what you're buying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when you got upgrades in those boxes.
Oh yeah, you get the random loot like Rocket League.
Yeah.
So where you have to buy the crates or whatever, and you don't know what you're getting.
Well, no, you get the crates, but then you gotta buy the fucking keys. And it's like,
and then it's just.
But I don't mind that so much in Rocket League because you're like, you know, you're just paying.
And
for
it is
cosmetics.
cosmetic, so it's not pay to win, but yeah.
So yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head basically, and I don't like having to pay for upgrades and all that, but as long as they keep it just to cosmetics, then I'm cool with that. It makes sense, and I even like it, you know, better than having to pay for a game. Let the people who want cosmetics pay for it, and they'll make their money after that.
Hear you guys' thoughts on this, but I think that that free to play games are better suited to multiplayer type games than like a single player game. I don't think you're gonna see single player games.
Well, yeah, I don't think they would
free to
make
play.
money.
Like those are better as you just pay upfront for it. Like maybe you could do like free to play up through like the first chapter or something, so people can see if they want to buy them and then get them.
Well, they wouldn't make enough money doing it in like a single player game because everyone wants these cosmetic items to show off to their friends and like be like, oh, look at my cool new costume, all that stuff. So I don't think it would be viable in like a single player game because they wouldn't make enough money off of it.
Are you saying free to play single player games?
Single player games. What do you think about that?
About
do you think they
about
could be
like
successful?
About like microtransactions or free to play games that are single player?
Well, I don't. Are there single player free to play games right now?
I don't think so.
No.
I know like Assassin's Creed, like they have a bunch of like microtransactions to get like XP boosts and like get different mounts, make your guy stronger and stuff. I mean, I hate that shit. I know like they say that you can buy it in game, but again, like I think that's just I hate the way that these companies monetize or what's the word? Monetize. Yeah, thank you. These games, like, hey, like I know games are expensive. I know they take a lot of money and a lot of time to make these games, but I guess my thinking is like. Put out a free-to-play game, and people are going to want to support you and pay you $60 or between, you know, whatever it is. But you'll probably get your money. People will probably spend $60, which is the price for a new game nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for a while. But I feel like, you know, the free-to-play games that do it right, where, hey, you know exactly what you're going to buy. You know, they're all cosmetic. And like in Apex Legends, for example, you really can't even like see your skin, like for like your character and your guns. Besides like when you actually like, look at your gun and also like you know your finishers. But at the same time, like you're pretty much buying these skins to look cool to other people. That's what you're doing. And for people that want to do that, that's cool. Like support, you know, like, I would support Respawn and maybe pay like $10. You know, with how many people are playing that game. Everybody pays $10 on that game. You're gonna make a shitload of money.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, you said 10 million players, $10.
Yeah, what's that? 100 million.
It's a lot.
So I think free-to-play games, if they're done right, have a space in the gaming medium. It's the ones that are done wrong, where you have to pay to win.
Well, and then you have the stupid games like NBA 2K where you have to pay $60 for the game and then you have to pay to win.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the type of game
But
that I don't like that I was talking about, where you have to buy upgrades because you're trying to.
I'd rather like
it takes so
my
freaking
career
long to grind to like just to get to level 85 or whatever.
I think it would be cool if they did in like a 2K or other sports games where you make it free to play for the My Career mode, but if you want like the rest of the game, you pay your $60.
I mean, I think people would still
because
buy.
you still have the microtransactions in the My Career mode.
I think the way that
people would still buy
Take Two,
the game.
you know, when they make their 2K games, you know, they make it free to play. You know, you can still buy VC to make it like, get like a cool jersey, cool shorts, but keep it a level playing field and let people grind and really earn that, you know, money. But at the same time, we're all dumbasses and we all buy the game every single year. And we always want to spend a bunch of money for VC. Like, they know what they're doing because they know people are addicted to those games. And they know suckers like us buy it every year because like, oh, maybe it'll be different. They know it. They need to do it for their investors and their shareholders and all that. But, you know, even like MLB The Show, you know, you really enjoy The Show games there. You know, they have a bunch of microtransaction bullshit where you can buy packs. And it's like loot boxes.
But even like that game, the good thing about that game is you don't have to pay to actually get a good team in that. You can grind and get a team pretty quickly. Unlike, you know, NBA, for example, where you're playing My Career, you gotta grind forever.
Oh, you have to pay for VC.
It takes forever if you're not paying for VC.
Yeah, and then like in like my park or the neighborhood or whatever, where in 2K, where if you're like a low rating and you're by yourself, good luck finding squad mates that want to play with you.
Oh, that's horrible.
Who pay to, you know...
You can't play online unless you...
No, you pretty much get locked out because nobody wants to play with you, and you can't even get your grind, you can't even get your level up.
It's even worse than pay to win.
Unless you play the games every single game and do well in it and get A ratings and get a bunch of VC. But they know what they're doing. I think Fortnite is really the game that...
They said
it. I think they said... I mean, I'm sure there's other games before, but that was like the big game that's kind of hit mainstream and a casual audience, and people that don't even play games, people know what Fortnite is now, or at least heard about it. And again, it's all cosmetic shit. Like, it's all stuff that you can't get in game, but you're not making your character better that way.
See, because we played a lot of Fortnite back in the day, and I mean, I never paid any money for that game, but they're still making tons of money.
Oh, so it's $1 billion game basically.
So it's not like they can't do this model and still make money. Like, you just gotta do it right.
It goes to show an addicting game has a fun gameplay and can really do well what it's trying to do, and have and make a tons of money. It doesn't have to. You don't have to pay $60 for it. You know, to have a good time. Hey, make it free to play. Like everybody enjoy. Like word of mouth gets spread. Get people addicted to it, and then they'll pay for their cosmetic shit. And again, we're still on an even playing field, depending on skill. And they can still make their money, and we get a good game that's free that we can try out and have fun with. It's a win-win situation.
I don't even mind like some of these companies that charge $60 for a game, putting their cosmetic stuff in there that they charge extra for. Because I mean, you don't have to buy the cosmetic shit. And I feel like some of these games really are struggling to release at $60 just because of how much the development costs on some of these.
And inflation too. These games have been $60 for a long time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I had to choose between
expensive when you take into account inflation.
If I had to choose between paying $80 per game or $60 with putting the cosmetic stuff in there for a price, I mean, obviously I'm going to go for that way rather than having these games cost $80.
Right.
I do think that some of these games that are so big, like, the new Assassin's Creed, that's a huge game, and that probably costs so much just to make that game, and it does have cosmetic stuff in it, so I think I'd rather have that than have an $80
Well, it's not as XP boost, but again, it's a single player game, so you're just really impressing yourself with making the grind less grindy. But it's not affecting other players.
It's not something I have to buy. So
but mobile games are a lot of free-to-play games, and they do it because they know people get hooked on these games. And it's a multiplayer game where you're like I played Lord of the Rings, like The Hobbit or whatever. Yeah. And you build like a fortress, and then it'll lock you after a certain amount of time and say, hey, you got either wait 24 hours to get some coin, or you can pay this amount of money. And you can start playing immediately.
Talking about mobile game?
Yeah. That's another
that's how pretty much all the mobile games.
Free to play games like Apex Legends, Fortnite, even again I brought this up, Realm Royale, which are they're all part of the battle royale genre. those games, I think, they do it right. It's accessible to the gamers. And
if any of these console games ever tried to do that model where you have to pay to play some more, people would not go for that. That would never work on like a console game.
But even like mobile, I think that like a Pokemon Go does it right. Like that one isn't really a pay to play. Like I've never put money in it, but like I've played for hours on end, and like you never hit that part like where I'm out of Pokeballs. Like I always feel like I have enough where I can keep going without buying more. But you can still buy stuff in that game too. But which I think is why Pokemon Go has been so successful as a mobile game. I think that about covers it on the free-to-play games.
Yeah, I think I've talked enough.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good. They're good when they're done right.
Mm-hmm.
When they're done wrong,
yes,
they hurt the industry.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, there's a risk reward to it.
Again, if any developers watch our videos, which I doubt, but maybe, if you're unsure about a game, make it free to play, make your shit cosmetic. If it's a good game, the game will speak for itself. That's all you need to know. The game will speak for itself, word of mouth will get spread, and people will play your game and support you. If you put out a shit grind fest that is not fun, and you're just trying to, get money from people, then you're not going to do well.
Yeah.
So,
Apex Legends, that's a perfect example. You don't get to, how many downloads did you say it's already at? Like 7 million? Just
10 million.
Or 10 million.
In 72 hours.
Like, you don't get to 10 million downloads in 72 hours without any advertising.
Right.
Without, the game speaking for itself, like you said.
Exactly. That's
Well,
it, Scott. That's all I got.
I hope everybody enjoyed today's episode and our topics of discussion. Let us know your thoughts on free-to-play games. What are your favorite free-to-play games? And if you like our videos and subscribe to them, that would be awesome. And if you subscribe to our videos, leave us a comment. If you like the t-shirts that Eric showed you and you want one for yourself, let us know, and maybe we can get one for you guys. And hey, you guys can support us by wearing them and get the word out some more. So that would be cool. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.